So I know that I haven't showed you guys the car necessarily on the channel yet. So today we're going to be going over the car, the parts that came with it, how much I spent on it. I did pick up a transmission that's in the back of the truck, so we'll talk about that. I did order some parts, so we'll talk about that. But first, let's actually just talk about the car. I want to show you guys the car. So we're just inspecting the car now, looking over things, because this is the first time that I've really looked at this car in the daylight, and Bebe's pulling off panels and
just to see the color. But I noticed this. All right, so you see right here, this is supposed to be nice and flush, and you can this is supposed to be like this right here. See all the spot welds? It's supposed to be like that, but it has a bunch of bumps. So that I seen that's a telltale sign that this quarter panel is being replaced at one point. So they did a
decent job.
Okay job.
Yeah, okay job. But all in all, the shell is fairly straight. There's literally no rust.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty. It's a good shell.
Yeah, it's a good shell. I mean, especially because it was a $400 shell with all the parts that came with it, which we're gonna, slowly just, everything is inside of the car now. I don't want to take up a lot of his garage space, so we're just gonna pull everything out of the car, go over everything that came with it. In the engine bay right now, the whole thing has been like bed linered black, and we have the Wireworks ground harness here. It also came with the Wireworks like tuck harness. The bay is relatively clean. I thought I was gonna have to change the core support in it, but it doesn't look like it's been bent. It just looks like you can see these boogered up welds back in here, which that's gonna bother me. Like this mount has been welded in and it looks absolutely terrible. So I mean, he's got a welder, he knows how to weld, and he's gonna show me how to weld. So we're just gonna grind that crap out and redo it, make it look half decent. But this is a budget build, so it's all just gonna be what I can put together. I mean, the motor that's going in it literally came out of my friend's backyard. It was a motor that he had. He hooked me up, my buddy Brandon, he gave me, I went over there originally to pick this up. I didn't have an intake manifold, so we have a stock H22 manifold with injectors, fuel rail, throttle body, all of that stuff. So he hooked that up, but he said if I came over and took the intake manifold, that I had to take the motor too. So I was like, okay, I came and got it. And then he just kind of like dumped all the extra parts that he had in the back of my truck and said, deal with it, which I'm not upset about. I got like a random downpipe off of his CB7 that this motor came out of. But looking at the interior, the dash, clean. Door panels, surprisingly clean for an EK. Normally they're all crunched up here and look terrible. These are like not great, but they're all right.
Like my car.
Yeah.
Door panels are...
Well, these you can see right here in the actual like armrests are all crunched in, but the seats are in here, full interior. The headliner looks like an animal was trapped in here overnight. Radio. Started looking around in the trunk. We figured out that this car was originally poison ivy green, which is like this, dark ivy green. They did do a like half decent respray on the car at one point. At one point, it's not half decent anymore. But they did do, you can see inside here, they redid this. But we're just gonna start pulling these parts out of this car and see what all we have to work with. I'm just trying to figure out what I need to buy, what I need to order, what we're gonna need to make this work. I have ordered the reseal kit, the master gasket set, and I did also order a oil pump. So we'll get those. They were supposed to be here today. They didn't show up today, so hopefully by tomorrow they'll be here. I know one of them had a shipping delay, so we'll just see when that comes in. When it comes in, you guys will know. So I've got all the parts in the shop now. We actually found out that we have some more good stuff. Very surprised. So we have the K-tuned shifter bracket and cables. We have axles and half shaft. We have the Sport billet mounts with T-bracket. We have the aluminum radiator, which I don't know if I'm gonna trust because it's pretty beat up, but we do have a radiator. I will 100% be upgrading that in the future. Alternator, starter, the full intake manifold, injectors, throttle body, sensors, all of that stuff. It actually has a factory harness attached to it. In the bay, there was the Wireworks ground kit. We have an oil pan, which I don't have for either of the motors, so we have an oil pan now. We have the full Wireworks plug and play harness, and we have 1320 headers, and then we have the ATI super damper. So,
High revs.
huh? Yeah,
For the high revs.
for all the revs. See if that oil pump can keep up. But like, we have so many little goodies that I didn't realize came with the car. I didn't know it had the K-Tune shifter, the shift cables. But going back out to the car, now that we have it relatively cleaned out, we can come over here and look at more. I mean, it's got like a Mugen rep lip. It's got the, I don't know EKs, so I don't know what grill this is, but it's got the, like the Badge Delete grill. I think it's like the SI rep grill or something. Let's go inside the car and see what we got in here. So this is like my second time ever actually sitting in this thing. We have what looks to be like OEM and OEM shifter box, which, you know, is what it is, with a weighted shift knob. I don't know anything about, whatever it may be. Pioneer radio, all that's gonna just come out and be plated with gauges. As gauge wise, we have the SI gauge cluster. I've never applied power to the car, so I don't know if these are like LED gauges or anything like that. There's a look, see, look at him, look at you, buddy. You just getting you some? Sorry about your luck, you did. Oh, I didn't kill him. Great, now he's gonna bite me again. The headliner in this thing, absolutely god awful. We're gonna have to just, I may just rip the headliner out altogether and maybe reupholster it, maybe just leave it out. This car was H series already, so the holes down here are already cut for the shifter cables. Here's another wire to something, I don't know. There's like speaker wire in here that's coming out. I'm not gonna run any kind of subs or anything like this. I am kind of, oh, it's got Pioneer door speakers, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'll probably leave like those speakers. I'll probably leave those speakers in the car because this is going to be a street car, and I do want to be able to, you know, have music on the street, you know, because I will be driving it around town and stuff like that once it's finished. The steering wheel's not in bad condition. It's got custom nail polish on the H here. Sunroof is not cracked, still OEM. The seats are fairly clean. I mean, it needs a good vacuum and like good clean, but like the floorboard, I don't know, is that like factory, that big hump? I don't know if the floorboard's been dented in or what the situation. I don't know if the floorboard's been dented in or what that situation is. I haven't ever dealt with that before, but dash is in decent condition. Rear seats are in decent condition. My hose clamp, like, freaking, oh, that's damaged, dang. I was about to say distributor cap button. But looking around the interior, like, my plan is to, from the B pillars back, out, gone. Everything back there is going to be ripped out. This is going to be a street track car. So from the front seats forward, we're gonna have carpet, we're gonna have door panels, we're gonna have a full dash, but the rest of it is coming out. We're just gonna take everything else out. This is the first time I've really got in to look at this car in the daylight, so I'll be excited just to see what we have going. So now we figured out basically what we need and what we have. Right now I need a hood. So originally I thought the whole front end was bad and the core support was bad, but these fenders are okay. The hood just looks absolute, like, I don't know if you guys can see what I see, but there are just absolute dents all over this thing. It is nasty, nasty. Need to clean up the headlights. It's got like looks like they had polished them and painted them, so that's like all chipping off, looking bad. So I'll just sand those up and clean them. And other than that, I will respray the car. I don't know if I'll do it right away or not, but it's looking pretty good. I was thinking to myself, somebody spent a lot of money collecting these parts. And this is the motor that was originally in this car. And it also has lightweight flywheel. It had a clutch on it. I'm wondering if maybe there's something, there's a spider hanging right here, bro. Look at that. But I'm wondering if there is something internally that's not stock. I wonder if it's got valve springs. I wonder if it's got valves. I've never taken the valve cover off of this one, so I have no idea. But I know it had a bunch of money dumped into the car, so it potentially has some goodies inside. So what we're doing now is we're just gonna yank the valve cover off of this guy and figure out what's underneath it. What if she's got cams? What if she's got valves, retainers, springs? Who knows? Better find out.
Stock springs and retainers, stock cams. The reason that you know stock cams, that hole right there, lines up with this. Whenever you're gonna put it on timing, you can just slide
Slide something in there to hold it in place.
But yes, stock springs and retainers.
So here's the transmission that I picked up. It is the, I don't know, you can see this, the M2Y4, which means it is an H22 trans. It's got the shorter gears, and it is non-LSD. So, with having the shorter gears, this all motor build might scoot a little bit. But now that we know that the valve is not bent, it's back installed. We're just waiting on the kit for the gaskets and the oil pump, and we can start assembling things. But as of right now, we're just gonna put everything back in its place. I wanted to figure out what I had and what I needed. I mean, we still need like radiator hoses, fluids, little things like that. But for the most part, everything necessary to get it up and running is here.
All the big stuff.
Yeah, all the big stuff is here. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Shout out to Bebby for once again letting me keep my things here, showing me the ropes, and you know, tearing some stuff apart for me, teaching me everything. So I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.